Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt it? That quiet, invisible force kind of shaping how we behave, both online and, well, everywhere else? It's got a name: digital morality. And look, this isn't some far off sci fi idea. Nope. It's this incredibly powerful system that's already here, already silently changing our world. And that right there, that's the whole point. We're living in it right now. This isn't some future we need to get ready for. It's the reality we have to figure out, and fast. So for the next few minutes, we're going to dive in. We'll break down exactly what this all means, how it actually works, and here's the big question. Is it the solution we've all been waiting for? Or is it a trap we've already walked right into? All right, section 1. So, how in the world did we get here? I mean, for centuries, humanity has tried, and let's be honest, mostly failed, to get people to just, well, behave. I mean, think about it. We've tried everything, right? We've had fire and brimstone sermons. We've had those be nice posters in school hallways. We've built up huge armies and police forces. And of course, there's the super expensive legal system. But here's the thing. All of those methods, they were kind of clumsy, super expensive, and honestly pretty easy to get around if you really wanted to. And then a new sheriff rolled into town, very quietly. They call it digital morality. And it's not about preaching or policing like we're used to. Nope, this is something else entirely. It's an automated, unblinking digital ledger. It's always watching, always logging. And it uses all that data to automatically reward you for playing by the rules and punish you the second you don't. It's crazy efficient, it's scalable to billions of people, and it's basically everywhere. And if you think this is all just theory, think again. It's already happening, right here in the US. Your social media history, yeah, that's no part of your visa application. That one edgy tweet you posted 5 years ago and forgot about, that could literally be the digital gatekeeper that stops you from getting into the country. The ledger is already checking your past. Okay, now let's hop over to China, where this system is woven even deeper into daily life. Picture this. You get caught jaywalking by a facial recognition camera. Next thing you know, you're trying to book a high-speed train ticket for a weekend trip, and you can't. The system's already blocked you. The consequence isn't a ticket in the mail weeks later. It's immediate. It's digital. And, it's not all about punishment for small stuff. It's also being used as a seriously powerful tool against major crime. In Nigeria, for example, authorities are using digital finance to fight back against things like kidnapping. So a bandit demands a ransom, right? Well, because every bank account is linked to biometric data, that ransom money can be frozen almost instantly. It makes the entire crime pretty much pointless. But here's what's fascinating, and what this timeline shows us so clearly: surveillance itself is not new, not by a long shot. Just look at the pattern. We go from 18th century lantern laws where you were forced to light your own window for patrols, all the way through the Supreme Court okaying wiretapping in the 20s to the FBI's paper-based big data in the 60s. The desire to watch, to monitor, it's always been there. The only thing that's actually changed is the tech. It's just gotten way faster, way cheaper, and infinitely more powerful. Okay, so that's the theory, that's the history. Now let's get to the really juicy stuff. How is this all playing out right now, on the ground? We're going to take a quick global tour of 3 huge live experiments. And this table just lays it out so perfectly. You can see the totally different approaches. In the US, it's used like a surgical scalpel, very targeted, mostly for national security screening. Then you have China, which has gone for a mandatory, widespread system for everyone, all aimed at total social compliance. And in Nigeria, it's being used like a shield, specifically to fight corruption and financial crime. See what I mean? 3 completely different goals, but all powered by the same underlying tech. Now get ready for this, because this next part might really surprise you. We in the West often hear about China's social credit system as this, purely oppressive thing. But look at this. Public approval inside China is incredibly high. We're talking around 80%. So what gives? Why on earth do so many people seem to love it? Well, the answer is all about psychology. It's not just about punishment. That's the key. The system is absolutely loaded with rewards. We're talking better loan rates, VIP treatment at airports, discounts on hotels, real, tangible benefits. So it basically encourages people to trade their privacy for perks. It brilliantly reframes compliance. It's not about submitting to the government. It's about being smart, getting ahead, making your life more convenient. Okay, so this brings us to the absolute heart of the matter.
the big central question. Is this whole thing actually working? I think it's time we hand out a report card for our new algorithmic overlords. Let's weigh the undeniable wins against the really, really serious costs.
And this right here, this lays out the trade-off perfectly. On the one hand, you have the wins, and you can't argue with them. They're impressive. We're talking drastic drops in corruption and fraud. Violent crime goes down when you can track criminals. Welfare actually gets to the people who need it. But then you look at the other side of the ledger, the wounds, and they are deep. Privacy as we knew it, gone. But think about the more subtle stuff. What happens to a society when people are good, not because it's the right thing to do, but because they're terrified of a bad score? What happens to creativity and risk-taking when every single failure is permanently logged against your name? I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of loss. The idea that something fundamental, something we used to think was essential, has just been tossed aside. It's a relic, like a cassette tape, in this brave, new, totally transparent world. So when you add it all up, what's the net effect? Well, we get safer streets. We get cleaner governments. And let's be real, those are things we all want. The catch? It comes with this nagging, unsettling feeling that we've basically just outsourced our souls to a database. But okay, the story doesn't have to end there. This isn't a done deal. This technology is still being built, still being shaped. So that leads to the really important question. Can we do this better? Is it possible to install some safeguards, some guardrails, to keep the absolute worst-case scenarios from happening? And the answer is a resounding yes, we absolutely can. Here are 5 concrete ideas for how to build a fairer system. First up, transparency mandates. The algorithms scoring us, they have to be open source, or at least open to independent audits. We need to see how they work. Number 2, sunset clauses. This is huge. It means your data automatically gets deleted after a while. One mistake shouldn't haunt you for the rest of your life. Third, human appeals. We need real people you can appeal to, not just a chatbot, because a bot will never understand human context. Fourth, a focus on positive incentives. Let's use rewards like tax breaks, not just public shaming, to encourage good behavior. And finally, number 5, we need global standards, a sort of GDPR with teeth, to stop autocrats from abusing this powerful tech. So, we've looked at the wins, we've looked at the wounds, and we talked about some possible safeguards. Which brings us to our final log. The big question: where does this all leave us? Are we building a perfect utopia or a very slick, high-tech dystopia? Think about it. For thousands of years, what were our best tools for making people behave? Religion begged us, philosophy reasoned with us, laws threatened us. They all tried. But none of them have been as powerful, as quietly effective as a single piece of code that just whispers, "I see you." And that really just hammers home the new reality, doesn't it? The old rules are being rewritten, but now they have algorithmic footnotes. Being a good person isn't just about what's in your heart anymore. It's about a number and an external score that literally determines what you can and can't do in the world. So, here we are, back at the ultimate question. Is this the utopia we've been dreaming of? A world finally free from corruption and crime, all thanks to technology? Or is it just the slickest, best marketed dystopia ever invented? One that we all willingly bought into, trading our freedom for a little convenience and a feeling of safety? That's the question I want to leave you with. Because whatever you decide to call this new world, one thing is for sure: the system is on. The server is always watching. And unlike a person, it never, ever blinks.